My name is Elliot Faber. I work in the industry of both food and beverage. I have a big focus on Japanese drinking culture, but I kind of communicate that through different food experiences, through the bar, and through even kind of the actual roots of sake production itself. I've been in this profession for as long as I can remember. Straight out of university, I was already studying to become a sommelier, falling in love with food around the world. Childhood passion for Japan through anime, video games kind of led me to Japanese food, eating oversized kind of sukiyaki beef bowls in Canada, and eventually kind of taking that connection between Japan and studying alcohol and applying that to sake. And when I moved to Hong Kong in 2011, that's where I started to realize that sake was kind of the main direction of where I wanted to be without forgetting my roots and passion for global food and beverage. I first got into sake in North America. I had the chance to actually discover one of North America's first sake breweries in Vancouver, Canada on Granville Island. It was there that I had already began to study alcohol, I had already gotten into food and its diversity around the world, and I had my passion for Japan from my childhood. But it wasn't until I helped to open Yardbird Hong Kong in 2011 that I started to realize how I could combine my passion for sake with my proximity and accessibility to Japan itself, being right in Asia, just a few hours flight away. Luckily, Yardbird Hong Kong became very busy, and it fueled my passion to learn more because there were more and more customers coming through the door, more and more repeat guests. I always wanted to show them something new, and I had great access to all those new things. And so it just fueled my passion more and more, and eventually I had a chance to publish a book, and I had the chance to break out on my own and really take that passion for sake culture further. Aside from the unwavering support from my family, my wife, my daughter, even though she can't even talk, I know she's supporting me. I know I've got a great community behind me and all around me that really wants to see sake culture improve and grow at a global level. I'm most motivated because the industry is always changing. And there's always new things happening. You're never bored. Even though a lot of the sake that we talk about comes from inside of Japan, there's constant momentum and changes. And what's more interesting is that sake is actually being produced outside of Japan as well. And there's a lot of utilities of sake that aren't explored. So what keeps me going is the chance to educate and share this knowledge with a global audience. Becoming a Sake Samurai is an award that is bestowed upon a major contributor to the sake industry as a whole. The award is given out by the Japan National Brewers Association Junior Council. It's a group of high-level sake makers with a lot of pedigree and history and influence, and with the Japanese government bodies themselves. So when they choose to nominate somebody as a Sake Samurai, a whole panel must vote, and not everybody receives the recognition. For me, I was very fortunate because I had just published my book about sake and gotten the attention of some really key sake makers, and they nominated me. The panel agreed, and I found myself dressed like Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai at Shimogamo Shrine in Kyoto Prefecture, one of the most iconic shrines in all of Japan, right up there, and giving thanks and being recognized. And even though there's no specific award outside of a certificate and a great night after the ceremony itself, there's an intrinsic responsibility that I still carry with me to this day. It's really incredible how something that's so invisible has fueled a lot of my work that I do today. It's such an honor to kick it with the Golden Tooth family. I came and I had the opportunity to showcase some of my influences that can help to bring sake drinking culture to a wider audience. It's really interesting that Golden Tooth is receptive to introducing sake to their audience as well, even though they don't necessarily do it on the daily. The first drink is the yuzu tooth. Why the yuzu tooth? Well, we're featuring a lot of yuzu shu, fresh yuzu, and we're also at the Golden Tooth, so why not, right? We got a little bit of the Sake Central yuzu shu. It's a custom recipe that myself and the Sake Central team have developed with a brewery in Shiga Prefecture of Japan. This uses over 30% real yuzu juice. When you look at the bottle, you can see the oils, you can see the pulp. It's more juice than sugar. It's rare in the world of yuzu shu. And we also blended it with a little bit of something that's more local. It is a Japanese yuzu shu, but it's available right here in the market, no sugar added. It actually takes advantage of koji, which is a natural kind of way to create sweetness and umami through fermentation. The second drink is the Scotch Berry, taking advantage of a riff on strawberry whiskey that we've been developing for a long time. I gotta give a shout out to the Fernet Hunter brand manager, Sebastian Robinson. He helped me develop this one as well. We take advantage of not only the strawberry whiskey that we made together with my man Kenny right here at the Golden Tooth, but we also integrated a little bit of grapefruit cordial, really making a refreshing, kind of bright, sweet and sour highball vibe. The third drink is the Faber Picker. So this one is an interesting one because it goes against my early grains of wisdom. I actually was really against integrating sake into cocktails, but during COVID, I had the chance to really take a step back and look at how I want to promote sake culture. I definitely respect the roots. I definitely am proud to introduce Nihonshu traditional sake in its purest form. But in order to reach a wider audience and to give people more of a gateway into understanding sake in its truest, purest form, sometimes you gotta put it in a cocktail riff. So the Faber Picker takes advantage of fresh pressed cloudy apple juice that we have right here, a little bit of Fernet Hunter, and of course a little bit of the Hakkaisan Tokubetsu Junmai, which is available right here in Jakarta. If I could make sure that one message was taken away from today, I want people to always explore the diversity of not only the world of sake, but also the world of craft, food, and alcohol production. Really people that are working hard. Sometimes when it's larger scale, people think that it's not going to be as good because it's not a small batch, but there's craft in large scale, there's craft in small scale. Really get to know makers, get to know categories, find something you love, and then you kind of dig deep from there. I want to give a big thanks to the good people at the Golden Tooth, my man Tamish for bringing me out to Jakarta. 2 years in a row, we've been holding it down here in Jakarta and I've really enjoyed it. The people of Indonesia as a whole and really of Jakarta have been really supportive and receptive, always down to try new things. So I think that's really nice to be a part of and I want to thank you for having me along on this journey.